The Tesla Semi is one of those vehicles that's been living in the public imagination for years. A truck that's more than just a truck, a symbol of where the freight industry could be headed. When Elon Musk first rolled it out under bright stage lights back in 2017, it looked like a piece of futuristic concept art had somehow driven off the page and onto the stage. It had no massive chrome grille, no roaring diesel engine, and no plumes of exhaust. Instead, it was sleek, quiet, and purposeful, with a promise to change heavy transport forever. But here's what most people don't realize. The Teslas we've seen on the road so far aren't the final product. Every Semi operating today is essentially a working lab, a prototype. They've been handed over to a small group of companies, PepsiCo, Walmart, DHL, ABF Freight, and a few others, not so they could say they own one, but so they could put it to work under real-world conditions. That means hauling actual loads, on actual schedules, across real terrain. No stage test tracks. No pampered conditions. Over the past couple of years, these semis have been climbing steep mountain passes, weaving through busy port terminals, braving winter storms, and cruising along long, flat stretches of interstate. They've been hooked up to refrigerated trailers, stopped at way stations, and loaded and unloaded alongside traditional diesel rigs. Every mile they've driven has given Tesla data, the kind of feedback you can't get from simulations or lab tests. And now, it looks like all that testing is paying off. After years of quiet iteration, 2 brand new Tesla Semi prototypes have been spotted this month alone, the first fresh builds in years. These are what Tesla insiders are calling Gen 2 semis, refined, reworked, and much closer to the trucks Tesla plans to sell in large numbers. The changes are clear the moment you see one. The cabin is noticeably wider, giving the driver more room to move. The windshield is bigger, offering an even broader view of the road ahead. The headlights have been redesigned, giving the front end a sharper, more aggressive look. And perhaps the most anticipated addition, there's now an option for a sleeper cab. For long-haul drivers, this is huge. A sleeper cab isn't just a nice perk, it's a necessity. It transforms the truck from just a machine into a home on wheels. After 10 or 11 hours of driving, a driver can pull over, shut down, and rest in a dedicated sleeping space without having to book a hotel or rely on external facilities. Tesla has built this into the back of the cabin, adding extended side windows to make the space feel more open. From the very beginning, Musk pitched the Semi not just as an environmentally friendly alternative, but as a money-making tool for trucking companies. At the original reveal, Tesla claimed the truck could travel up to 500 miles on a single charge while carrying a full load, accelerate faster than any diesel rig on the market, and save its owner as much as 1 million gallons of fuel over its lifetime. That could mean millions in savings for large fleets. Of course, the path to get here has been anything but fast. The Semi has been delayed for nearly 8 years, not because it didn't work, but because Tesla refused to jump straight to mass production. They wanted proof. They wanted to see how the truck would perform hauling uphill in freezing conditions, idling in summer heat, or operating in stop-and-go city traffic. They wanted to know how the batteries would hold up after thousands of charge cycles, how the brakes would perform on steep descents, and how the cab would handle months of constant vibration. One of the clearest success stories from this testing phase came from ABF Freight. In just 3 weeks, one of their semis racked up 4,500 miles, averaging over 320 miles per day, much of it across demanding terrain like Donner Pass, where elevation climbs top 7,000 feet. Even under these punishing conditions, the truck's energy use averaged just 1.55 kilowatt-hours per mile. For something this large, those numbers are remarkable. Drivers who've piloted the Semi talk about how different it feels. There's no engine rumble, no gear shifting, and no constant vibration. The cab is quiet enough to hold a normal conversation. The acceleration is smooth and immediate. The center-mounted seat changes the driving experience completely, giving perfect symmetry and visibility that stretches in all directions. Now, with a Gen 2, Tesla is taking everything they've learned and making the Semi more practical, more comfortable, and more adaptable. The mirrors have been redesigned. Drop-down windows now make it easier to communicate with staff at shipping docks or toll booths. The body shape has been reworked to reduce drag and boost range. And for the first time, customers can choose between different roof heights, a high roof version that clears tall containers and a low roof version for shorter loads where every aerodynamic advantage matters. Perhaps the most important change isn't in the design, but in how the truck is sold. Until now, the only option was the full 500-mile range model. That's a steep entry point, especially for smaller companies that rarely run long-haul routes. Tesla is changing that by offering new 250-mile and 300-mile versions. Still a big investment, but it's far more attainable for regional carriers, urban delivery fleets, and mid-sized logistics firms. Another new feature is the Electric Power Takeoff System, or EPTO. This allows the semi's battery pack to power external equipment, like refrigerated trailers, without needing separate diesel generators. It's quieter, cleaner, and reduces both maintenance and fuel costs. Behind the scenes, Tesla has been working on a new battery pack design. It's slightly smaller physically but more efficient, delivering the same range for less weight and cost. It will also be produced entirely in the United States, insulating Tesla from tariff disruptions like the ones that once stalled component imports. On the charging side, Tesla has built something called the megawatt charging system. As the name suggests, it's powerful, delivering up to 1.2 megawatts of electricity. That means the semi can be recharged for hundreds of miles of driving in less than an hour. These chargers are based on Tesla's latest supercharger technology but are designed to handle the semi's enormous battery demands. Depending on the location, they can be dedicated to trucks or share capacity with standard car chargers. Production is also scaling quickly. At one time, fewer than 100 people were working on the semi between California and Nevada. Now, over 1,000 are dedicated to it at Giga Nevada alone. Once the new line is fully operational, Tesla expects to be able to produce 50,000 semis per year. The first production intent units should start rolling out by the end of 2025, with a full ramp-up in 2026. But Musk's ambitions go further. Tesla plans to integrate supervised full self-driving into the semi. For long-haul trucking, that could be a major shift. Imagine a driver starting a route, setting the truck to handle most of the highway driving, and focusing instead on monitoring the road and planning the next delivery stop. In an industry facing a growing driver shortage, the ability to reduce fatigue while maintaining safety could be game-changing. The semi has already proven itself to some of the biggest names in logistics. Tyson Supply Chain Services recently put one through nearly 5,000 miles of winter testing, including climbs over the steep Altamont Pass in California. Drivers came back praising the cab comfort, the ease of handling, and the drastically reduced noise compared to diesel. All of this is building toward a turning point. The Gen 2 Semi isn't just a slightly better prototype, it's the bridge to full-scale adoption. It's more versatile, more affordable, and better matched to the diverse needs of the trucking industry. With the production line nearly ready, the charging network expanding, and new configuration options available, the Semi is poised to move from rare sight to common workhorse. The big question now is adoption. Will the $170,000 starting price be enough to tempt small and mid-sized carriers? For big fleets, the math is easier. Fuel savings, lower maintenance, and potential tax incentives make a strong case. For smaller operations, it's still a significant leap, but Tesla's decision to offer shorter range, lower-cost models could be the key that tips the balance. Elon Musk has made it clear that the Semi isn't just another product in Tesla's lineup. It's a cornerstone in his vision to electrify transport at every level, from personal cars to commercial fleets. If the Gen 2 can deliver on its promises at scale, it won't just compete with diesel, it could start to replace it. And if that happens, the sound of American highways could change forever, trading the roar of diesel engines for the near-silent rush of electric power.